Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Just wanted to add some additional points to my previous video, sort of an addendum, just emphasizing the aspect of direction when it comes to the Qibla. Okay, and here again I'm showing New York and the northeastern Qibla and the path that it takes reaching all the way to Mecca. All right, and the important thing to recognize or realize is that while the true absolute direction of the Qibla remains the same as I previously described, that we're not changing or having to adjust our direction at all as we follow this path representing the direction of the Qibla from New York to Mecca. While this direction isn't changing, relative to the latitudinal and longitudinal lines placed on the Earth, as well as the poles, it is changing. But that doesn't mean that the direction is changing. And let's explain that using a very, very simple case. Imagine that you're on this piece of land and you're heading towards the North Pole. Immediately once you cross the North Pole and continue your path, you're heading south, right? You're heading north towards the North Pole. Once you cross it, you're heading south. So relative to the poles, your direction's changing, but your true direction, your real direction hasn't changed. You're still continuing away from where you started. And if you did a 180 turn, you'd be facing the point where you started. Okay, so while relative to the latitudinal and longitudinal lines and the poles, your direction is changing in terms of the numbers, how many degrees north you are, how many degrees east, and things like that, your absolute direction isn't changing. And that's the case with the path that I've drawn here of the northeastern Qibla. Relative to the latitudinal and longitudinal lines, it is changing, but that doesn't mean the direction is changing. It's still a straight direction. Okay? Another point that I want to emphasize is that while initially this path, our direction begins northeast, inevitably in the vicinity of the Qibla, or in Meccatul Mukarramah, it completes its path, or its direction, southeast. Okay? But if we were to start our direction initially all the way in the northeastern direction area of the United States, if we were to start southeast, we would not end up reaching Mecca. You know, even if we take a very, very mild southeast path, beginning here in New York, and just follow the path, we'd end up hitting the northwestern coast of Africa. Okay, so it just doesn't work. Now, another point, and my final point is, indeed, relative to the longitudinal and latitudinal lines, Mecca is southeast of New York. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean that initially you have your direction southeast. You're going to miss it, all right? The important thing is to understand that your direction has to be a straight direction from the point where you're praying towards the Qibla. And that path may vary based on where you are relative to the latitudinal and longitudinal lines. Okay? That was the last point. Assalamu alaikum.